Give it up for Tammy with Oakwood Glen.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm really just moved by the turnout here tonight for the Oakwood Glen Neighborhood Association. We haven't had this many people as long as I've been president. For those of you who don't know me, I am Trudy Miller, and I am your Oakwood Glen president of the Neighborhood Association. For the last I'd say 3 or 4 months, it's just been myself and my loving husband, Carl, and our son, Cooper. And, well, we've come up with a lot of really great ideas. But I'm really excited that you all have joined us tonight. I guess word has been spreading around the neighborhood that the new email client that I'm using for my newsletter, I can see if you open it. So I'm hoping that maybe that's one of the reasons why you all have come out, or maybe it's just some of the exciting things that have been happening around the neighborhood. Before we get started though tonight, I'd like to give a shout out to Scytha Gustafson. Scytha was the only person that came up to me before the meeting today and gave me the password that's at the bottom of the newsletter. So you guys, if you read to the bottom of the newsletter, there will be a password. And then if you come and you tell it to me, you'll be able to go home, like Scytha, with a box of the lemon squares that Cooper and I made this afternoon. They're delicious. So, a couple months ago, my loving husband Carl had come up with a really great idea to be able to make communication between the neighbors and the neighborhood association a little bit easier. And his idea was a suggestion box. And so for the last couple months, we've had a suggestion box there in the Oakwood Glen Clubhouse. And, with the idea that people could write down things that they wanted to see changed over the next year while I'm president here of the Neighborhood Association. And gosh, was I encouraged when I first opened up that suggestion box and saw all of those pieces of paper. That was super exciting. But boy, was I discouraged when I actually started reading it. And I think that perhaps it's partially my fault, because I don't know if we explained well enough exactly what we're looking for the suggestions. I'm just going to share with you a couple of the suggestions that we received. Well, here's one that was confounding for sure. It was just Devil 666. It's not incredibly helpful. But here, this was one that I'm more interested in. This is hot dog bus. I guess the question that I'd like to pose to the author of Hot Dog Bus is, it's not entirely clear just writing hot dog bus. I don't know if you're thinking of a bus that's shaped like a hot dog, which is interesting, or more like an ice cream machine, that would go around and sell hot dogs out of the back of a truck or something like that, or a bus. I'm sorry. So to the author of Hot Dog Bus, I'm super interested in discussing your ideas with you, but again, not very clear, you guys, not very clear. Here's one. This one was landscape maze with cash prize /DJ. And I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that we've been doing some improvements around the neighborhood, specifically at the front of the neighborhood. We've put some more shrubs out there to kind of make it look a little bit greener. And our budget is, we don't have a super deep pocket for our landscaping budget, and the shrubs that we were able to buy about 2 feet high. So I'm asking you to go along an imagination journey with me for a moment. How long it would take for us to actually have those bushes grow as high as a human adult or child to actually walk through a maze. It would take a very long time, I would imagine, for it to grow that high. And we simply don't have the budget to buy full-grown shrubs. So landscape maze, very ambitious and exciting. However, I don't know if we're going to be able to implement that in the next year. DJ definitely brings up something that I think that we need to just repeat to everybody in the neighborhood. I don't know if we all remember last year's Springaling when the garden club was debuting their brand new Zen garden, which was beautiful. And we had hired a DJ by the name of DJ Yin Yang. We thought it was appropriate. But it turns out there's actually a band by the name of the Yin Yang brothers. And it wasn't entirely family friendly. And so we're going to continue to encourage our neighbors when you come out to the Springaling, bring your acoustic guitars or your clarinets, and we can have fun that way. So after our first suggestion debacle, Carl and I we went home a little deflated, and we thought maybe we need to help steer everybody in the right direction. And he came up with this idea of making templates, so that people could, we could steer them in the right direction with what the suggestions that we really would be able to implement would be best communicated. And so we stayed up, probably until 10:30 one night. And, like most of you, we eat dinner around 5 o'clock. So the next morning, Carl was so hungry, he had 2 breakfasts. Sorry, Carl. But the idea that he came up with, was to write these templates. And so we stayed up all night writing these out. I would like to see blank in Oakwood Glen over the next year. I would like to see blank in Oakwood Glen over the next year. And here are some of the suggestions that we got from our good neighbors. Just a real comical bunch out there. I would like to see a burial ground resurface out of a yawning hell chasm. Gosh, I hope not, you guys. I hope not. We don't really need that in the neighborhood, do we? Here we go. I would like to see hot dog buzz. Exclamation please. Again, to the author of Hot Dog Buzz, I'm very excited about your enthusiasm and would be interested in discussing this with you. And here's one. We got some dreamers out there. I would like to see Steven Seagal with dog boobs over the next year. And wouldn't we all like to see Mr. Seagal and come to our neighborhood for any event, really? But I am afraid we don't have the budget for the level of celebrity of Mr. Seagal. So and clearly I understand the dog boobs is a joke. Very good. In the future, when we're making our suggestions, if you could just keep these in mind, that would be very helpful for me. I would really like to, be the best president that I could possibly be. I just wanted to do a couple rules reminders for you guys real quick. It seems like once a month we get reports back from the groundskeeper out there at the park that we are still having some burning out there, and we do have a burn ban in the park, you guys. And for the last couple months, it's just been concentric rings or a pentacle one week. And that's where the kids go in and they play their little league and they practice out there. And just having charred, scorched earth is very difficult on their little knees. So if we could just keep the park beautiful and not burn out there, that'd be very helpful. And so just an update. We are still missing the ducks from the duck pond. The Oakwood Glen Elementary School had raised quite a large sum of money to purchase those ducks last summer during the Kids Give a Duck fundraiser. And gosh, the kids, they sure did love those little ducks, and they are still missing. So anybody who has any information about the whereabouts of the ducks, that certainly would be helpful. On your way out, please enjoy some of the lemon squares. They're not all for Scytha. We can all enjoy some, and have a couple glasses of punch. And if anybody needs to talk to me about anything, I'll be hanging out in the front for the next 10-15 minutes. Thank you very much for your time. Santiago to pay close attention. Are you paying attention? Now, you could learn something from me. You might not think so, but you absolutely could. Look, I took broadcasting classes when I was in college for 2 semesters, so pay attention. This is what I want to do. Santiago, are you back there? This is what I want you to do. I'm going to count down from 3, okay? Rather, I'm going to count down tres, dos, uno. And when I get to uno, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to point at you, and that's when I want you to go. Do you understand? Let's give it a shot. Are you ready? Tres, dos. Family, friends, darling. I'm so sorry that it's taken me so long to get a hold of you. I've been so absolutely busy, you wouldn't believe it. I know it's completely out of character for me to go so long without contacting friends and family. Why, I'm one of the first ones after a party to send a thank you note or a card for a birthday or an anniversary, and everybody knows me by that, I know. So I apologize. But you must understand, I've had no access to any kind of fax machines or computers or stationery or anything, so it's not entirely my fault. But again, I apologize. I guess I don't really know exactly how to explain exactly what's happened. I guess I should just tell the story the best way that I can, and I know what you're all thinking right now. Everybody loves it when Chi-Chi tells a story. Whenever I'm at a party or any kind of a gala, as soon as I clear my throat, everybody gathers around. They can't wait to hear what story I'm going to tell. And I know it's because I embellish. Everybody loves my embellishments, though. You have to add a little color to a story to make it interesting. However, I'm not going to add anything on this story. I don't need to. You see, it's really just the most remarkable thing that's ever happened to me. So everything I'm telling you is completely factual. I'll just start at the beginning. So there I was in my front yard, and I was pruning my rose bushes because, you know, every year I win the blue ribbon for the Oakwood Glen Garden Club, and everybody loves my rose bushes. So I've been doing this trellis kind of fence thing with my roses for a while, but this year I've been more inspired by English gardens, and so I was making it into a topiary, and then out of the corner of my eye I saw this glowing white orb that was just hovering in the lawn, and it started to float towards me. And as it got closer to me, I could see that it had layers within it, like, it's difficult to explain, but think of a gauzère, of course. So on the outside of it, it's a puffy pastry, and then on the inside of it, foie. So the orb is floating towards me, and as the puff pastry, the outside part of the orb, starts moving through me, I'm shot outside of myself, and there I am looking down at myself from all angles. But it's not just me in this present time, it's me in the past and me in the future, and I'm seeing myself in all of these new ways, and then the orb moves further through me, and when I get to the foie part in the center, I have this vision, and everything goes black, and all I can see is this rolling green misty jungle. And I don't know how long I was standing there, but when I finally came to, I marched into the house, and I knew exactly what I needed to do, and I went into Darling's study, and I said, "Darling, I'm not going on a cruise with you this year. I'm not going." I went over to my computer, and I Google image searched misty green rolling jungle, and of course pictures of Colombia came up. So what did I do? I booked passage to Bogota. The next thing you know, the very next week, I'm on a plane, a little putter plane, and I'm flying over the Darien, and you know what the Darien is, that adorable little swath of land there between Panama and Colombia. It's just all jungle, it's darling. I'm flying over the Darien, and wouldn't you know it, my plane went down. Right into the side of a mountain we go. So I'm there laying on the ground, who knows how long I was out, and I come to and I start to look around, and I can't find the pilot anywhere or any of the passengers. I don't know where they've been. And my eyes start to focus on this man, this figure that's moving towards me, and he kind of looks like, in the silhouette, like a wizard, and he has like a wizard staff, and he comes over and he pokes me with the wizard staff, which I later learned was an AK-47, of course. I get to my feet, and we start marching into the jungle, and at this point, darling, I should tell you this is a ransom video. So we start marching into the jungle. And I tell you, Margot, if you you're watching this, let me tell you, we are not going back to that Swiss spa. Margot, you promised me that we went to that Swiss spa that I was going to lose 15 pounds, but all I ended up doing was eating chocolates and getting massages by Swedish men, and I tell you, I prefer the Italians anyway. I'm much more into the warm, cultured people. I think it's rude to get rubbed down by somebody who's from the north. It feels Anyway, Margot, the reason why I'm telling you this is I probably marched for 5 hours through that jungle, and I think I probably lost 5 pounds in those 5 hours. Come to Colombia, don't go back to Switzerland. So eventually, we march into the night, and the night is falling, and we come to this absolutely precious little camp. It's perfect, so tidy. There's this little fire circle that they have in the middle, and everybody's sitting around, and all of the soldiers are telling stories, I'm assuming, and they have all of their guns very neatly placed up against a tree, and somebody very cleverly hung their machetes in a tree. It was just adorable. So we're sitting around, and I'm listening to everything that they're saying, and I thought, Chi-Chi, you must remember your lessons from college. You studied 2 semesters of Spanish. You must figure out what these people are talking about. And so I started paying attention, and then it became clear to me that I was captured by the FARC. That's right, darling, the FARC. The most influential of all of the guerrilla groups in all of Colombia, and I was captured by them. Why, the FARC has their hands in absolutely everything. Not only are they a political group, but I'm sure they have something to do with drug cartels and soccer. There I was. Well, I've always been lucky. Darling, you can attest to this. I've always been lucky. Now, one time, darling, don't you remember when we went to the state fair, and there was that table that had that jar of jelly beans on it, and there was a little sign that said, if you can guess how many jelly beans are in this jar, you can take this jar of jelly beans home. And so I looked right at the man, and I said, there's 532. And how many were there? Of course, there were 532. I guessed it, and I took that jar of jelly beans home. See, I've always been lucky, darling. So there I am at the camp. Okay, what you can't see right out of frame right now, darling, is that my good friend Diego and my friend Santiago are pointing their guns at me right now, which means I need to get to the point, which is they want you to send money. They want you to send $1 million. Darling, I'm telling you, do not send that money. I am not leaving. I'm not leaving. I've been far too busy. They could use the money, I'm sure, but even if you do send it, I'm not going to leave. I have so many projects that are going on around the camp. You see, there's these empty graves that they have around the camp that I believe they're using them for some kind of intimidation, but it's not intimidating anybody, Diego. And I'm filling them with water and like trying to, root some new shrubs that I can plant around the camp. And the FARC girls are absolutely adorable as well, darling. They have the most precious little figures. Why, we go down and we bathe in the stream every morning, and I see their bodies and they look fantastic, but they wear these clothes, these horrible men's trousers and ugly jackets. So I've started to teach the girls how to take in their clothes, So every Tuesday we have a little bit of a sewing circle, and all the girls sit around. And are you turning that off? Santiago, I wasn't finished. Well, that's rude of you. I wasn't finished yet. Well, fine. Oh, Diego, get that gun out of my face. I could take you down with a machete in your sleep.
I got no car, got no mule, and I got no misery. See folks with plenty of plenty, but I have a lock on the door. Take somebody to quiet.
Carl, the neighbor man. He comes to my house tonight. For what reason, I wonder, Carl? No, don't tell me. Do not tell me, Carl. There must have been something very important that would make you trudge from your house to my house on such a cold night. Right now, Carl, I'm imagining that you wish that you had some kind of flame between us. Some kind of a fire. Well, Carl, If you push that button right by your elbow, you can ignite the flame in my fireplace right here. See? There it goes, huh? Very nice, right, Carl? The luxury of buttons, no? But we could talk about the luxury of buttons for so long, Carl, could we not? No, you did not come to my house tonight, Carl, to discuss the luxury of buttons. You are a brave man. It is so late tonight, and you had to walk through the mud pit to get to my house, the mud pit that has been created because of the construction you are doing to put a new bathroom in the back of your house for your lovely wife, Trudy. Am I correct? Yes. You see, Carl, sod is delicate, okay? And when the trucks or the delivery men come trudging over the sod, the earth, it breaks the grass, and then the earth underneath is exposed. And then when the rain falls, it creates a mud pit, Carl. You see, this is why we have this mud pit between our houses. You understand? I too have trudged this mud pit, Carl. I know. I have been to your house and I stood in your foyer like you stand in mine on a cold night with mud on my boots, talking to your lovely wife Trudy about borrowing her heavy pot so I could make duck l'orange. And she gave me that pot, and I trudged back through the mud pit. But I am going on too long, Carl. No. There is a reason why you have come to my house tonight. It is not to talk about the mud pit, I understand. But no. It is nighttime. Do you not agree, Carl? And what do they say? That nighttime is the right time. So, Carl, let's play a game. Allow me to guess why you are here. You have come because you have been appointed some sort of hero in the neighborhood. They have asked you to come and discuss with me my nativity scene in front of my house. Yes. Well, you see, Carl, perhaps I can explain it to you so that you can communicate to the rest of the neighborhood the reason why my nativity scene is as it is. You see, your Christ, your Santa, is to me like a great Khan, like a Genghis Khan or an Obadiah Khan, a man who rules half the world, a man who in dire times will drink the blood of his own horse. Christ is the kind of man who would take his enemy's wife as his own. And so you see, Carl, when I make my nativity scene, it is the Mongols. That is why. No, this is not the reason you have come. Okay, all right. Very well, Carl. We are playing games, and I know the reason why you are here. No, of course, it is not the mud pit. It is not the nativity scene. It is my new fence. It is my new fence that I have erected around my property. And everybody wants to know about the new fence. But, Carl, allow me to ask you a question. When you are thinking of my new fence, think of this. Are we not all made of human bones? Now, of course, Carl, these are not actual human bones. No, it's paper mache. Just like all of the other things I have erected in my front yard, like the pyre of spines that I made for Easter, or the castle of skulls that I made for your Thanksgiving. And when the rain falls, Carl, when the rain falls, it'll wash away into the mud pits, and it'll... No, this is not the reason you have come. I have gone too far. I have taken too much of your time. What is neighborly behavior? If we do not have honesty between the two of us, I am not being a good neighbor, and I must be honest with you right now, Carl. I know why you are here. 15 minutes ago, I'm imagining you are standing in your kitchen and your lovely wife, Trudy, asked you to go on some errand for her. Perhaps she has run out of kitty litter. Or perhaps there is no more milk. And she asked you to go to the store for her. And so, you being a dutiful husband, you go into your little Subaru And you start to back out of your driveway, but no, your passage is blocked. You cannot leave because something is parked at the mouth of your driveway. And you get out of your car and you look, and it is, of course, my little Peugeot that I have parked at the mouth of your driveway. And you, Carl, are not the sort of man who would drive around the Peugeot through Trudy's lovely flower bushes. You are not that kind of a man. And so you have come to my house tonight, so late on a cold night, to pay me this compliment. Carl, I cannot accept this compliment from you. You assuming that me, a woman in the twilight of my life, would be strong enough to move 2 tons of steel from the street. No, Carl. I am not this strong. Oh, keys. Sure. If we had keys, we could move. You are a wordsmith, are you not, Carl? The keys to our problem is the keys to my Peugeot. Yes. Yes. But Carl, I have a question for you. Where are my keys? God or goddess, or I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I don't feel entirely comfortable assigning a gender to you when I don't know exactly what you are. So I'm gonna go with something that's gonna make me feel a little bit more comfortable right now. I'm just gonna call you Spirit. I'm gonna call you Spirit for a little while. And if that doesn't work out for you, Spirit, well then you can just communicate to me in the way that you have been communicating to me, and just steer me in the right direction. Speaking of communications, I have been receiving your all of your transmissions from the Hinter realm, I guess, because they're coming to me in nightmares, and I wanted to let you know, loud and clear, I am receiving them, and I'm assuming that the visions of the fork-tongued wolves and the walls of blood and all of the concentric fiery rings, that's coming from you, and so I just wanted to let you know, loud and clear, I am receiving those. I'm just confused about the messages specifically that you're sending me. And so when you're sending me these transmissions from the Hinter realm, if you could just be a little bit clearer about what you want, that'd be really helpful. I assumed that since we usually do this under a full moon, that it was time for me to come out to the park again tonight. So here I am, and I just wanted to, I didn't have any kind of specific directive from you, so I just wanted to go over a couple things in my experience recently since you came into my life, and just give you a little bit of feedback about things. So speaking of the visions that you've been giving me and all those transmissions, at night they're fine. They come to me in nightmares. I'm laying in bed. I can handle that. That's fine. But it's the daytime visions that have gotten a little tricky for me to navigate. Because there I am. I'm sitting at work and I'm sitting around a conference table with some of my clients, and then all of a sudden everything just goes to total blackness, and there's just a river of nothingness flowing through the middle of the office, and all, my clients are just turning into writhing torsos of goats, and I'm just screaming, just blood curdling screams, and it's alarming for everybody else in the office, and I've gotten a little bit of a reputation about it. And people have been saying that I've been PMSing for 2 months. So, it's bad for business. So those daytime visions, if we could just shift those into nighttime, because I had a real bad one the other day when I was picking the kids up from Capoeira, and I blacked out completely, couldn't see a damn thing, and scared the kids half to death because those screams, those hell shrieks are they're scary. So that's one thing. If we could just cover that in the future for nighttime, that'd be great. I've had some success at the office in the past with doing a little something that we like to call a criticism sandwich. And so the way that goes, I don't know if you're familiar with this in the Hinter realms, but the way that it goes, it's an easier way for us to communicate criticisms to each other, and we soften the blow a little bit with some compliments, right? So it's called a sandwich because we've got the fluffy piece of bread and then the meat in the middle. That's criticism, you understand. So I'd like to offer right now a criticism sandwich to you, and so I'll start off with my compliment first. Last full moon, when I was out here and I was doing my very first blood sacrifice and ritual, I was all thumbs, and I knew I was. I was messing it up. I thought I got my prayers wrong. I thought I'm not serving the Spirit the way that I need to, and I was just nervous and just really crestfallen at the end of the night. And I didn't even, the sun's coming up over the park, and I was just like, I'm just going to go to work. I'm just going to go straight into the office and just try to put in a couple good hours so I can feel a little bit better about everything. And I walk into the office, and I go over to my inbox, and I reach in, and there is a full price cash offer for the house on Egret Street that I've had on the market for 9 months. I almost lost that listing. And I got a full price cash offer. Spirit, I know that was you. I know that was you that did that. And I was standing there just covered in waterfowl blood, just praising your name in the office. Because I knew that was you. That was some quick acting too. So I really appreciate that. That was very clear. I appreciate that. Let's move into the meat, okay? Let's move into the meat. So I understand that part of this deal is going to be that you're going to possess my body. I know that. And my feelings are, if I don't remember it, I don't care. I went to college, So it doesn't matter to me. But I think the thing that has been troublesome for me recently has been, when I wake up and I'm in the deep dark of the woods, and I don't know where I am, or I wake up and I'm at the bottom of a empty grave, or I wake up and I'm just hovering a couple feet above the chimenea in the backyard. And it's troublesome because, it's cold out there in the deep dark of the woods. So just a little forethought or help with if as you're possessing my body, if you could put into the routine, throwing on a jacket. Really helpful. Or a lot of the times when I'm just clawing my way out of that empty grave, it gets. I'm just in my nightgown. It gets cold. I would love to have some boots on or anything just to help out. And the whole thing about hovering over that chimenea, I come to, I don't know how the hell to get down. And my neighbors were up and saw me just trying to pull myself down the trunk of a tree, just popping back up. I mean, it's embarrassing. So any kind of help, just how to get down from that levitation would be really helpful. So there's a criticism part of it. So the other compliment that I have for you is it's not just, this isn't just coming from me, but this is coming from a whole family. As you may or may not know, I am deathly allergic to dogs. I can't have a dog. I've never been able to have a dog. I love dogs. I would have loved to have a dog growing up. And now my 2 twins, they keep asking me, Mom, when can we get a dog? And I'm like, I'm sorry, babies, we can't. I'm just too allergic to them. Well, recently I've noticed the powers of summoning wolves that you've given me. And there we are, coming out of the Walmart parking lot, and there's just wolves surrounding the car. Or, we're at Little League, and there's just wolves around the park, and it's, even though we can't love them and we can't touch them, I feel close to them. I feel like they're my pets because I can read their thoughts. It gives me such a great feeling of connectedness, something that I've never felt before with an animal. So I really appreciate that. That's really meant a lot to me. So I know that the last time that I was out here with my blood ritual, I might have messed up my prayer a little bit, and I've been practicing. So I'm going to give it a shot, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my prayer for you. Spirit, hearken the witch's world that calls all to gulf afford and bridge the vast realms of shadow hounds that protect this book and guard the fire circle. Spirit, fill me with ancient powers in this right and ready hour, and the phantoms of the north guide my serpents to my summon. Fanged factions of night realm beasts, infuse me with your darkness and inky hollows. Give me courage to tame the beasts of flame conjured by your order. Give me strength to revel in the discord and find rest in the cacophony of your hail shrieks. Well, that's about it for me tonight, Spirit. Toodaloo.